Hi everyone, this is Connie from Connie's Creative Creations. Well, welcome to my channel. If you like what I do here on my channel, think about hitting that subscribe button. It's free to you, but it helps my channel grow, as well as give me a big old thumbs up and hit that notification bell, as well as leave a comment if you would like. Now, let's get right into this. This is a stencil, this is a challenge called Stencil It Up. So, let's get right into this. Okay, I took this sign from the Dollar Tree called, it is a beachy nautical one. I took the jute off and I took the mermaid off, and some of the paper tore, so I was trying just to clean that up a little bit, just so that it wasn't hanging there. Now, if I was going to sell this product, I would probably put paper or cover, make sure the back was covered, but I'm not. This is for me. So I am just going to, once I clean that up, I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to start painting this. Now, with this challenge being a stencil it up, that's what we're going to do. We're going to stencil. Now that I'm using my little ladybug vacuum cleaner, which I absolutely love. Now there is some glitter on those words. I am using Mod Podge to cover them. That keeps the glitter from falling off. Okay, now I'm going to flip this over, and I am going to paint this with Waverly's plaster chalk paint. At least, yes, it is. It's Waverly's plaster in their chalk paint. And I end up doing, I think, 2 coats, because I could still see through it, and I didn't want it to be, you could see where I could still see through it. So I went ahead and did a second coat. Then I took this stencil that I've had for many, many, many years, and I'm going to put the 2 scrolls on either side of this. And it's actually going to end up being the top and the bottom. And I'm using Folkart's brushed gold, and I'm doing these scrolls. Then after that, I'm going to be painting on the between them. So this is going to be the top and the bottom of this sign. Isn't that pretty? I love this scroll. I've had this for probably 25-30 years. I just love it, and I've used it many times. You can see I still had some paint on it from the last time. I have to soak these and get them all cleaned before I end up using the next time. So here I am just doing those, and then I'm going to flip it, and we're going to start painting. Now, I was going to do those roses stencil, and I was like, no, it's not going to go. It's not going to work. So what I ended up doing is I just sat that aside, and I grabbed my paints and my paint brushes, and I started painting, and I painted a flower on this. And sorry, the sun was shining through my window right on my surface, or right on my table. Then the clouds would cover, but yeah. So let's get right into this. So I'm taking 2 different greens. This one is Folkart's metallic green, emerald green, and then I have Folkart's multi-surface, just true green. And I'm doing 2 coats, so I do one of the metallic, and then I do the other green over it. I guess I didn't have to do the other one. I covered it completely, but it just gave me more dimension because it had another color underneath this. So once I'm done with that, then I'm going to go ahead and grab purples. Now I have a violet from Folkart, lavender from, I think it's from Apple Barrel, and then I have white from Apple Barrel. And I'm just painting this flower in the dark color first, and then I'll add the light colors for the highlights to give this dimension so that it looks 3D, so it doesn't look like it's flat on the sign, because you don't want your flowers to look flat. So as you can see, I'm just doing the dark color first, and I've got my colors right there so I can all kind of mix them up. And now I'm putting one coat of light colors, and then I'm going to do even lighter. That will give this flower a lot of dimension. I know I could have bought a different flower stencil, but I love to hand paint, and I had put stencils on here, so even though it's a Stemple It Up collab, I felt like this worked. So here I am using some white mixed with that lavender and getting the highlights done so that it looks completely 3D, so it looks like an actual flower sitting there instead of something that's flat. So once this is done, then we'll move on to the second project. I hope you guys like this. I sure do like it. In fact, I love it. I think it's beautiful. Now, for the information about the Stencil Up collab. Now, the host is C from CeeJ DIY, and her guest host is Krista and LaParsha. I love her name. And I will leave their channel links down in the description box as well as the playlist. So let's get to the second, and it's the last project. I only did 2. Now this is a press board. I buy them in sets of six from Amazon, and I think it was $6, I think. And yeah, so I am going to paint this. I'm putting Nautical Blue from Folkart and Pool from Waverly on it, and I'm going to mix it as I go. Now, when I'm done doing most of this, I realized I wanted some more of the lighter color, so I got more on it. Then when I was completely finished with this whole project, I realized I probably should have done more of the lighter and not so much of the dark, because it turned out fairly dark, but it's a really beautiful. This is supposed to look like the sea, like you're looking down into the sea, and that's why I was going with the dark. But here I am going to put some more of that pool on, and I'm just dabbing it on there because I don't want to put any more of the dark back in there, so I'm just using it and just making more of the lighter so it's, looks more like the sea. And then I ended up adding a little bit more and was careful not to transfer any of that dark color into my paint. Now I'm using my Darcy heat gun to dry it. Now I cut this stencil out on my Cricut with stencil vinyl, and this is Frisco's stencil vinyl. I'll try and remember to put it in the description box so that you'll know what it is. I get it from the Dollar Tree. I mean, no, not from the Dollar Tree. I get it from Amazon in great big rolls, and I will put that information in the description box. So this is a sea turtle with some flowers. So I am just weeding it so that I can get it ready. Now I'm just finishing up the weeding process, and then I'm going to use transfer tape, and I'm going to transfer it over. Now I use peel and stick. Now I made a mistake here. I don't show you, but I didn't defuzz it, and it took me forever to transfer it because it didn't want to leave the transfer tape. That was my mistake. I did not show you this. Once I get to that point, I did not show you because I thought I was going to pull my hair out, and that would not be good at all because I like my hair. But this part was easy, taking the backer paper off. It was just once I put it on the blue part here. Yeah, and once I put it down and realized what I had done, So I didn't show you that part. So now I'm painting it, and there is the turtle's feet, fin, his front, back feet, a little bit of his body and his head, and I'm stenciling this in chalk. I think it's Folkart's chalk paint. I cannot remember the name. I think it's Fern. And so I'm just getting that all done. Then I'm going to pick Folkart's, I think it's Shamrock, and I'm going to do the little seaweeds or sea plants, and I'm going to do those so they are lighter. And then I'm going to grab pink and that violet color and white, and I'm going to do the flowers. And once I'm done with that, then I'm going to pull off, or I'm going to pull up any of the vinyl that is still, or all the vinyl that's still left on there. Now I'm putting a little bit of this light, it's called, I think it's mint, on it, so that, because turtles are not just one color, and so I wanted to give it a little bit of dimension. And I know it kind of looks funny, but it ends up turning out okay. Definitely. So here I am going to grab that lighter green. Actually, I had missed part of his legs, so I had to go do the legs. I'm like, oh, there's legs down here. I gotta do these legs. So I went ahead and did the legs, and then I'm gonna do the sea plants and then the flowers. Okay, so I've done the pink, or no, this was the purple, the fuchsia, I think. Kind of, can't remember the name, but it looks to me like fuchsia. And now I'm putting a pink in there, and I think this was blush. And I put all solid, and then I grab white, and I use my stipple brush, and I do the centers. Now the paint is still wet, so it mixes on the center, so it ends up looking really pretty. Now I know these are bigger sections, and once I pull off this, you're not going to be able to see as much of it. So here I am going to weed. I wanted to get some of it dry before I started weeding it because it was really wet. And as you see, I'm just weeding all of that out, and it's more of an outline of the turtle. Now I could have done it the opposite way where you saw more of it, and I guess that could have been I don't know if I'd say a better way, just a different way, but I really like the way this turned out. Yeah, like I said, I could have kept it the other way and did it that way, but hey, this turned out cute. So I hope you guys enjoy these two projects, and please don't forget to go to the playlist and watch all of the creators. They're amazing creators. They come up with some amazing projects, as well as don't forget to check out all the hosts' channels. And yes, I hope you guys really like this one, because I sure think it's amazing. Now that that is done, I am covering it with Mod Podge, just because I wanted it to look all uniform, because the paint in the back was not chalk paint. And I mean, yeah, no, it was all chalk paint, but I just wanted it to look all uniform and shiny. And unfortunately, when I took the picture, it got a glare off of it, and I should have took the picture before I did that, but hey, it is what it is. So I am just using my Darcy heat gun and getting that all dry. So I hope you guys love these. I sure do love them. I think they're amazing. All right. I hope you love it because I sure do. And you guys all have a most blessed day. And don't forget to call somebody and tell them you love them, because that might be exactly what they need to hear today. And you guys, please don't forget to be the Bible that somebody reads today. Bye.